Hi, my name's Jess. Thanks for joining me today. Today's session is going to be 30 minutes of stretching. I used to teach a freestyle stretch class at one of my gyms, and I always found that it was such a relaxing way to spend 30 minutes focusing on my breathing and loosening up my muscles. My style of stretching is a cross between a sports-inspired and a dance-inspired stretch class. We're going to spend 30 minutes, we're going to work from top to toe, we're going to stretch all of the main muscle groups. I just want you to be able to focus on your breathing, relax, and enjoy the length that comes through your muscles with this stretch. Let's get started.
We're going to start with a big breath in, reaching all the way up. Breathe out and release. Filling your lungs with air and just releasing any tension you might have. We're going to start stretching through the neck. Turn your head to the side and back the other way. Pushing your shoulders away from your ears and feeling that length through your neck. Holding your core tight so that your hips and your shoulders are completely still. Rolling down through the middle and look to the other side. And back. Maybe starting to feel a little bit of a stretch down the back of the neck. And remembering to keep those shoulders still. It's just the top of your head and your neck moving. Alright, we're going to move into a shoulder roll. Roll your shoulders backwards, trying to make that range as big as a circle as possible. Rolling forwards. Roll backwards and add some arms. And roll forwards, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Alright, looking down and looking up. Now it's really important here to keep that length through your neck. We're not trying to tuck the chin under, we're trying to really stretch out the back of the neck by finding range. We're going to roll all the way down to the floor, but moving vertebrae by vertebrae. Like each block of your spine, we're trying to move and separate away from each other, swinging at the bottom and letting your upper body hang heavy, releasing any tension you might have had through your spine. Coming back up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Really trying to feel each part of your spine moving as an individual unit. And twisting up the top. Turning your hips with your knees. And feeling a rotation through your upper body. Alright, we're going to come down to the floor and come into child's pose. So we're pushing our shoulder blades away from our ears. Bring one arm through and feel a stretch through your upper back. Come back to the middle. Feeling that length through your back. Maybe even some stretch down your abs as well. Bring your other arm through. Trying to touch that shoulder to the floor. Maybe feeling a stretch through your shoulders as well as through your upper back. Beautiful work. Alright, we've stretched through the neck and through the upper back. We're going to keep moving down into the shoulders. Take one arm across into a shoulder stretch. Nice long elbow and pushing your shoulder away from your ears. Now take that same arm into a tricep stretch. Elbow moving in and down. Alright, quick shake out and onto the other side. Shoulder stretch. Feeling that release across the front of the shoulder joint and keeping that beautiful length through your neck. Into a tricep stretch. Maybe even feeling a bit of a release down the upper back. Alright, we're going to keep moving down the body. Come onto your back. We're going to move into the lower back. Knees to one side, arms out wide, both shoulders flat on the floor. Just letting your legs hang heavy and feeling that release through your lower spine. Knees to the back. Turning your head away from your knees. And just feeling that stretch through your lower back. We're going to move from side to side, but keeping your knees off the floor. That way we're going to fire up the abs a little bit. Keeping that beautiful rotation. And when you're ready, knees to the floor, and start to add an extension of your top leg We're going to keep moving down the body and move from the lower back into the hamstrings. Keeping that rotation through the spine, but maybe starting to feel a little bit of a stretch. Alright, in the middle we're going to pick up one leg. Wherever you are, our lower back is flat, hips are both pressing onto the floor, and we've got a nice long knee. We're going to flex the foot and point the toe. With each flex, feeling a little bit more of a burn through those hamstrings. Feeling that beautiful release as we stretch the toe. Making circles with your ankle now. And then back the other way. Remembering to focus on that long knee. And just feeling the back of the leg start to get warm. Alright, we're going to move into a dynamic stretch. Some kicks now. Making sure that we keep a long back and hips on the floor. Just working to the range that you're comfortable in. You shouldn't feel any pain, you should feel a nice stretch. Maybe your range has started to increase as the hamstrings have gotten more warm. Up and hold. We're going to take that bottom leg just a step away. That's going to increase the stretch through the hamstrings. Alright, we're going to take the leg to the diagonal now. So moving to the direction of your shoulder. And you might get a little bit more range here, feeling a stretch down the inner thigh. Alright, back to parallel. And each time we stretch, we're just trying to get 1 centimeter more than the last stretch. Back out wide. Beautiful. Into the middle, squaring up through the hips. Feeling that tension start to release. Alright, picking up the other leg now. We've got to start off where we left. So nice long knee, hip on the floor, and just focusing on your breathing. Small circles with the ankle, breathing in and breathing out. The more you relax, the more we're able to stretch through those hamstrings. Working through our flexing and pointing, and trying to keep your leg at the same level even as you flex, which is the harder part of the stretch. Maybe even breathing into it and getting an extra centimeter on here. Alright, into our gentle kicks. Hips nice and still. Keeping your body still and just letting your legs swing. The backs of the legs should be starting to feel a little bit warm now. So maybe starting to get a little bit more range. Up and hold. Alright, we've got the two angles. The first angle is like this, directly over your body. Then we come out to the diagonal, as though you're trying to line it up with the outside of your shoulder. Back to the middle, square up, feeling the stretch right down the center of the back of your leg, and out to the diagonal, getting a little bit of an adductor stretch as well. Back to the middle, and release. Alright, we're going to move into our kicks on the first leg, but with a flex foot. The flex foot puts more tension through your hamstrings and makes it a little bit harder. When you've done 8, we're going to stretch the toe and feel how much easier that range is. Feeling that improvement compared to when we started these hamstrings. Beautiful. Alright, other side, flex foot. Making sure your knee stays long and your hips stay pressed on the floor. Controlling the leg all the way down. And stretching the toe now. Feeling that release as you stretch the toe, and the kicks suddenly become easier then with the flex foot. Beautiful. Alright, coming up to your feet, we're going to stand feet out nice and wide, reaching your arms above your head. We're going to come into a tabletop position, so we've got a completely flat spine and we're parallel to the floor. If you can extend this closer to the floor, as long as your spine stays completely flat. You might even like to go a little bit further. Alright, you can now release your hands towards the floor. You might curve over a little bit, that's okay. We're starting to work on the range here now. We're going to bend the knees and extend. Bend and extend. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to cross the arms together and swing the upper body, letting the weight of your body create more length through your hamstrings. Nice long knees. Just feeling the stretch, switch from leg to leg. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to turn to one side, legs in parallel. We're going to find that tabletop again. Weight equally between both your feet. Nice long spine, long neck. Feeling that release down both of your hamstrings. Now we're going to come down as far as you can to your front foot. We're going to bend the back knee and release. Bend and extend. Beautiful. Down and hold. And each time we bend that back knee, we're trying to pull the chest a little bit closer to the front knee. Extend. And as you extend, can you keep your chest in the exact same position? Feeling that pressure down the front hamstring. Again, bend, pulling your body that tiny bit closer to your knee. Beautiful. Extend, come back to your tabletop. We're going to swivel our heels and we're going to come through the middle. Try to keep your balance. And we're going to go to our other side to repeat the combination on the other side. Your feet under your hips, weight equally between both of your heels, and then dropping down. Feeling most of the stretch through that front leg. You're going to bend and extend. Just that back leg bends. Your front leg stays perfectly straight. Down and hold. Pulling your body that tiny bit closer to your front knee. And as you extend, trying to keep your head and your chest in that same position. Making sure your hips are square to the wall. Coming back to your tabletop position. Nice long back, parallel to the floor. Swiveling to face the front. And coming down, reaching as far to the floor as you can. And for an extra challenge, you can even walk your hands behind your heels so that you're reaching through your legs. Bend and stretch. With each release, trying to pull your head that tiny bit closer to the floor. Beautiful. Coming into your swing now. Starting to feel how that range has improved to where we first started. Beautiful. Alright, come to the floor. Come into downward dog. We're going to transition from hamstrings into hips. Pushing your shoulders away from your ears and trying to push your belly button through. We're going to walk heel by heel, feeling the tension switch between each hamstring as you push the heel to the floor. Alright, we're going to take one leg up, but we're going to bend the knee at the top, letting that heel hang heavy and feeling that opening through your hip. Driving your bottom heel into the floor, feeling that release through your hamstring. Alright, coming down and switch legs. Shoulders away from your ears. Pushing that belly button through and lifting that knee into the air. Starting to feel that opening through the hip and enjoying that release down the hamstring in your standing leg. Alright, come down. First leg, this time straight knee. Starting to feel that opening through the hip on the leg that's lifted. Other side. Beautiful. Alright, come onto your knees and face me. So we're going to put one knee forward, tuck the pelvis under, and keeping that pelvic tuck, we're going to sit forward. Opposite hand to knee reaches up. Big breath in. And tilting to the side, big breath out. Come down to the floor and just start to let your hips drop. For an extra challenge, you can reach through your arm and try to get both your elbows on the floor, feeling that opening through your hip. coming back into a lunge now, lifting that back knee off the floor, trying to just drop your hip. Alright, if you're ready for a challenge, we're going to lift up the upper body and let the weight of the body sit down and push the hips a little bit lower. Arms out wide and sitting low. Feeling that stability through your front glute hold you steady. Alright, come back down to the floor. Back down into our extended lunge. Now you can wrap that arm through your foot or you can go next to your foot. Picking up your back heel now. Feeling that stretch down the front of your quad and feeling that opening through your hip. And back down into your lunge. Alright, other side. So starting with your pelvic tuck, hips under, feeling that release down your hip flexors. And then keeping that pelvic tuck, we're leaning forward into the stretch. Big breath in, reaching up. And tilting towards your knee, breathing out. Coming down. And just trying to release that back hip. Focusing in your breathing to try to release your muscles. Alright, extended stretch. Bringing your elbows to the floor. Beautiful. Really focusing in on your hip flexors and trying to get them to release in this position. Alright, coming up to a lunge. Making sure your knee's over your toe and just letting the weight of your body get a little bit more range through your hips. Lifting up your body and sit down. Good. Coming back down to the floor, into your extended stretch. If you'd like to wrap your hand around your foot, that's totally okay. And back into your lunge. Reaching up, feeling that stability through your front knee. And coming back down to the floor. Alright, we're going to pick up the back foot with the same arm as your front knee. Feeling that stretch through your quads and really deepening into your hip flexors. Releasing and coming back down. Beautiful. Alright, coming onto your back now. We're going to transition from hip flexors into your glutes. We're going to cross one foot over the other knee. Now making sure that both your hips are square, we're going to lift up the bottom leg so that it's at 90 degrees. Pushing your knee out to the side so that you're really feeling that stretch around the outside of your glutes. We're going to do a little rock forward and back. Rock in, rock out. Rock in, rock out. With each rock feeling an increased stretch down the front of your hip. Switching sides. So that knee that's lifted is pushing out nice and wide. Feeling that release, rocking in and out. Just a small release, using your abs to pull your hips off the floor. Alright, so we're going to come into a cross position. Option 1 looks like this, the bent back knee. Trying to center yourself in the middle. Option 2, if you'd like to increase the difficulty, you straighten that back knee out. Now both of your hips should be facing the front and your weight should be equally between both your hips. You're going to feel the stretch in the glute that's bent. Now remember that long back from our hamstring track. We're going to keep a long back and take a little walk forward. Another walk. Really trying to lengthen out. One more walk. And reaching all the way down to the floor. Trying to let your body hang heavy over that front foot. And we're just going to breathe here. Breathing in. and breathing out. Now your muscles might be trying to stop you from getting into your range. I want you to actively focus on the muscle and just let it release, giving you more range through the glutes. Beautiful. Switching sides. Option 1, bending your back knee. Weight in the middle. More advanced option, lengthen your back knee and bring your weight in between your two hips. Feeling that stretch in the glute that's bent. Alright, let's walk forward. Small steps. Another walk. Keeping a super long spine. Alright, coming down to the floor, we're just going to let the body weight hang and increase the range. Releasing any tension you might have. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Just feeling those muscles actively relax as they start to become comfortable in that new position. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to come into a cross-legged position. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift one heel onto the other thigh, keeping both of your sitting bones on the floor, reaching forward, feeling that release through your hips. Big breath in, big breath out, and switching sides. So heel onto the inside of your knee, and long spine, reaching forwards. Big breath in, big breath out. Beautiful. Alright, we've got one more glute stretch that we're going to do. We're going to sit up and we're going to pop one knee over the other, hugging your knee nice and close to your body and turning away. For more difficulty, we're going to use the elbow to push the knee further away and just get more range, making sure both of your sitting bones are flat on the floor. Other side, so crossing the leg over and pulling the knee nice and close, turning the body to the other side. And for a deeper stretch, using that elbow to push the knee away. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to come into a quad stretch. So come back to your two crossed legs and we're going to lean back onto the elbows, trying to keep your knees on the floor. And for a deeper stretch, you can lie all the way back flat. Now you should feel that release through the back knee and through the quads. When you're ready, coming onto the other side. So setting up two bent knees and leaning back onto your elbows. You might like to lie all the way backwards, feeling that release down your quads. Beautiful. Alright, coming up, we're going to come to our feet. We're going to stretch through the quads with a standing quad stretch. Now you can have an arm out for balance, but the aim is to have the knees together, standing tall and lifted on your supporting leg. Beautiful. And switching sides. Knees together. Now in the hip that you're lifting up the foot for, try to push that hip further towards the front. It's going to give you a bit more of a stretch down the front of your quads. Alright, we're going to come into adductors next. So we're going to come into a nice wide squat, pressing your knees out over your toes and lifting up the chest. You're going to push one knee away, feeling that stretch through the inner thigh, and swapping sides, using your hand to apply a little bit of pressure. Swap sides, making sure that your knees are always over your toes, and switch. Alright, we're going to come into a sideways lunge. So making sure that your hips are both to the front and to the other side. Now you can reach that hand to the inside of your foot for a little bit more of an extra stretch. And back. Alright, this next stretch is probably going to be our most difficult. We're going to come to a straddle position. And we're going to just point and flex the toes, sitting as tall as you can on your tailbones. And just getting comfortable in this position. Alright, keeping the same long back as before. We're going to slowly walk forward, one step at a time. Trying to push your belly button through to the floor. Lifting the chest and flexing one knee at a time. With that flexion, reducing just a little bit of tension. And then returning that tension as you straighten and stretch. Alright, sitting back on your tailbones, you're going to stretch laterally. So trying to reach towards touching your toes. To the other side, making sure both your tailbones stay on the floor as you reach towards your toes. Again, but this time your bottom arm is going to reach under and through. That just gives us a little bit more range. Now we're going to square up and we're going to reach along our knee. Trying to bring your chest towards your knee and trying to flatten out the spine. Alright, we're going to creep through the middle and to the other side. Starting on your knee, nice flat back. Into our lateral stretch. Alright, we're going to come up and arms above your head. And keeping a long back, reaching all the way forward. Up again. Big breath in. Now, reaching all the way forward, stopping just before you feel like you're going to fall, squeezing your inner thighs. Now drop to the floor. We're going to swing from side to side and just feel that stretch alternate between right and left adductors. Alright, staying flat in the middle, we're going to open the arms out wide and just allow the weight of the upper body to deepen that stretch. Big breath in, big breath out. Beautiful. Resetting, long reach and rolling up. Alright, let's cycle through that. So we're going to reach up, long back forward, and then roll through the middle. Reach up, feeling that stretch right before you roll. Now holding down the bottom. Beautiful. Releasing to the floor. Big breath in. Big breath out. We're almost done with the adductors. Alright, shake it out. Alright, bringing one leg into a kneeling position. We've worked all the way from top right down to our calves. Coming into an Achilles stretch now. So heel flat on the floor, toe next to your knee, and just letting your weight hang over that front knee. We're going to stand up into an upper calf stretch. Feet in parallel, both heels on the floor, feeling that release at the upper part of your calf. Alright, come into a downward dog, and just walk through your heels, feeling that stretch through both your calves. Alright, let's repeat that on the other side. When you're ready, we're going to come down into a kneeling position on the other leg. Knee over your toe, weight leaning forward, feeling the stretch down the bottom part of your calf. Standing up, upper calf stretch. Alright, into a downward dog. Feeling that beautiful release down your back, down your hamstrings, most importantly down your calves right now. Alright, we're going to walk the feet under your hands. Nice soft knees and straighten. Bending your knees once more and trying to keep your chest where it is, straightening. Just feeling that length that you've gotten through your muscles. Big breath in, all the way up and all the way down. Soft knees and straighten. Rolling back up.
And that's the end of our 30-minute stretch session. I hope you're feeling super relaxed, you got to enjoy your breathing and feel that beautiful stretch through all of your muscles. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notifications so that you can be notified when there's a new workout up. Enjoy your day.